Greetings, Nick with Sweetwater. We're backstage in Indy at a fine summer's day concert with 3/4 of the one, the only Halestorm.
Hey guys.
Joe,
Hi.
Arejay, and what's your name again?
You know, it's so confusing. There aren't any vowels, so it's really hard. Yeah.
I'm going to discuss that with you later, actually, the fact there's no I in Lzzy.
Oddly, my name has vowels in it.
Yeah, yes it does. Imagine that. So you've learned something already about Halestorm. Just quickly, in case you don't know, which means you come from another planet, but these two are siblings, and they started back in 21 years ago, 1997, when you were 10, you were 13.
Yep.
Don't do the math.
Halestorm was born, so now 15, 18.
Yeah, time is not even a thing.
Yeah, time is, it's a materialistic,
it's a concept.
arbitrary thing. Yeah, it's a pure concept. And then this gentleman came in 2003. The bass player who's missing, so we won't use his name. Josh came in 2004.
He who shall not be named.
Yeah, he who shall not be named. Your father played bass till 2004. How cool is that?
Yeah, we're going to bring him back because we can't find Josh.
Yeah. So Dad, if you're listening, watch
Dad,
this.
you got the gig.
Help.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. I feel bad for Dad because Dad was in the band for a short period of time. You know, over that period of time when, you know, you're young and like Dad's still cool. You know, all you dads out there, there's going to be a point in time where the kids look at each other and be like, we got to get Dad out of the band.
He's fired. So you fired your dad.
We had the talk. We didn't fire him. We sat him down.
It was mutual. He was cool. Then
He
he's
was,
like,
he was a little bummed. But
so he threw you out the house. Yeah.
Dad's really cool and Dad was not cool.
Well, you know what? Go get a job.
But then we let him. As the story goes, we let him run our sound. For a little bit.
And then we started touring. We bought an RV and we let him drive the RV for a little bit.
And now he's just Dad, and he's really good at that.
That's the best job ever, right there. Yeah. But you know, we were just talking. He lives in Tampa now, and he actually still goes out and plays with his biker buddies out there. So he's kind of a little mini celeb down there, you know.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Well, you're never too old, right?
Yeah, no, never.
Allegedly. So, 21 years. So much for the overnight sensation BS then.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's just great that we're still here, man. We literally say it every single night. We have so much fun with each other, and we're really lucky. You know, we're about to release our 4th full-length record on Atlantic Records, and we know so many talented bands that never even make it to their 2nd on a major label. So the fact that we're still here, we're still touring, we haven't killed each other yet, it's quite the feat. So.
What drives you guys? What makes you do what you do? Because
childish, reckless abandon.
I think because we really don't know how to do anything else, so we better be good at this.
So no choice.
That is true.
We have really no backup plan, so.
Why do you do it, Joe?
It's just, I like playing guitar. I get to do that every night, and we have some like improv bits, and we get to talk musically, and you know, still more people come to shows. It's awesome.
It's fun, yeah.
Yeah, it's just fun.
I know it's kind of a cliche, but as far as they say, you know, like music and especially live music is addicting, and it's kind of our drug of choice. But there are those moments. So we'll have some time off and it'll be like too much time without a gig, and it's like, man, I'm just like really bummed. Like I don't know why. I have no reason to be bummed.
It's kind of our therapy. Almost,
and then you like go out and like have like a gig and like, oh, I feel better. This is great. You know, it's like it's an anti-depression. It's all of the things. Yeah.
And it's a universal language at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Gets rid of your aggressions.
Exactly. That's why we haven't killed each other yet.
Well, that is very true. I
stage.
mean, that is a big part of it. I mean, it's 23 hours of work and 1 hour of bliss, you know. Well, in our case, you know, 75 minutes of bliss, but, you know, it's a lot of work, the whole process. But you have to love every aspect of it. It's so much more than just performing live. You need to embrace doing the interviews, doing the meet and greets, doing the grunt work. It's, you know, it's all, you have to enjoy it. You have to love it, you know.
So this is grunt work? Thanks a lot.
Well, I mean, it technically, I guess it is, but it doesn't feel like it, you know?
Hard work. Yeah.
I mean, this is work.
Good escape, yeah.
It doesn't feel like work, but yes.
Foot right in the mouth. Right.
As soon as this is done, we'll just be like, oh,
yeah, thank
glad
John.
that's over.
English,
So tough.
Get him out of here.
On the come down.
I love the fact you guys, number one, you're a unit, you're a real unit. This is a real band. It's not there's no session players involved. You're a family unit. You can tell by the way you can sit on the same couch together, which doesn't often, and there we have it. And When it comes
when do we get off this couch?
Yeah, really. The writing and recording process, how do you guys gel? Because I'm reading something from you, Lzzy, and you said that there are 4 corners to Halestorm, the 4 pillars, and we've got 3 of them here. So how do you guys operate as a functional unit with the, do you all have the same ideas or the same?
We approach a song in a lot of different ways, but we have such respect for what everybody brings to the table. Like I can do something that they can't. Arejay can do something that none of us can. Joe can do something, like on and on, and we, so I don't know. It's like that. There's that respect of that. We also, because of our instruments, we always listen to a song we all listen to a song in a different way. Like, whereas me being a vocalist, I'm like, lyrics are my thing, and I want to make sure that that's
right.
That's the thing I do best, And then, Joe is just the riff master for days, and Arejay holds it down. I can't wait for you to hear this new record because you can really hear that type of clarity and hear everything that Josh does on bass that I feel like in past records kind of gets put in the back a little bit because I'm out front, I'm a girl, yes, okay, everything's all shiny, but it's not just about me, it's
right.
about all 4 of us, and
that's not true.
And when we come together like that, there's something that nobody else in the world can do and that we can't recreate with anybody else. So so
the sum is greater than the individual parts.
Pretty much.
Now, how much of this has to do with your latest producer, Nick?
Nick is amazing. We were just talking about that earlier. He is a true fan of rock music. He's a fan of ours, and as he's proven with all the bands that he's worked with Alice in Chains and Korn and and Ghost and Deftones and Rise Against and Rush, he brings out the best in his bands, as in kind of brings it back to, oh no, this is who we are, because it's hard sometimes for us to see us the way other people see us because we're just us, we're still perpetually 13 inside. So he really he brought that out of us, and we're super lucky.
The thing I did notice watching Soundcheck, which was fun by the way, is there's a synergy there. You guys aren't phoning this in at all. How have you maintained that over 21 years, and in your case, approaching that? How do you keep that excitement? Because there was no audience, it was just you 4 guys and a couple of idiots like me on the field going, these guys rock.
We
you were
fun.
feeding off each other, you could tell. It was a symbiosis almost.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. To me, it really comes alive when there's some improv, and we try to incorporate that into it. Not too much, we're not a jam band, but to just be able to take a song and expand and not really have a plan as to where we're going to go or land, and just start talking, musically. And when you do it in front of people, or even it's just fun, you get to do some solos and try to create some moments and some melodies and come out of thin air, and the more we do it, the better we get at it, which is it's just exciting.
There's a certain thing when you live with the same people and you're writing with the same people. Like, these guys have seen, they know me more than my family does. You know what I mean? Right. As they've seen me on my worst days, my best days, and when you have that, family. Yeah, okay, only half. I mean, you don't count. But when you have that type of relationship with people, the music, you have this internal language, and so and it's just fun. It's still so much fun.
I think that helped us in the studio too, because a lot, like you were saying, like the majority of the songs that were written on our new record were just us in the studio jamming together and just coming up with parts off the cuff,
Cool.
And I think that really helped us. I think doing those improv moments live was almost kind of like training for that almost.
Yeah.
So I think that's what makes this new record kind of sound like the most Halestorm sounding record, probably, is because it's straight from here, It's not overthought,
Gotcha, yeah, that fine line between clever and stupid.
Exactly, we always teeter that.
I always walk on the stupid side.
Or more,
I think we're on that side.
It's a blurry line.
I've got 2 questions to close. Thank you very much for taking the time for doing this, by the way. What would your collective advice be to anyone watching this who's just starting out in a band? Because 21 years later, you're still doing it. More importantly, you're having fun. What would your advice be to someone who'd like to follow in your footsteps, or at least a few of them?
Me personally, we did everything very old school, as in it's rock and roll 101. First and foremost, try to be the best at what you do. So make sure that you are, making noise and practicing and so that when you have an opportunity, you're able to kill it. But also, don't discriminate. Don't just wait for the big gig. Like, play anywhere and everywhere they let you play. Like, our earliest gigs were like bowling alleys and coffee houses where you had to be quieter than the cappuccino machine. You know what I mean? It's like, like, beggars can't be choosers, and make sure you get out in front of as many people as possible, because that's how you learn. It's not just about playing in your living room or even to a YouTube audience. It's about playing in front of people as much as you possibly can. And nowadays with social media, I mean, we did it old school. Like, we actually flyered. I don't know if you kids know what that is anymore, but that's when you go to Kinko's and you get like 1,000 flyers for your upcoming gig, and you go all over the place and you beg pizza shops to put in their windows, that kind of stuff. But that's really important too, just keeping connected with everything.
I just expand on that. I heard some really good advice about just how to get out there, how to get heard, how to have people notice you. And like you were saying, a lot of people say, just put your stuff out there. Utilize SoundCloud, utilize YouTube, iTunes, whatever. You can write the greatest songs in the world, but if you're the only one that hears it, no one's gonna know it.
Right.
So get it out there. And also, the other piece of advice I heard was kind of like we were saying, like, it's taken us 20 years and so much for overnight success. I don't think a lot of people realize how long it takes to get anywhere, and so many bands get right on the cusp and then they give up because it's not happening as quickly as they expect it to. So you got to realize it takes a long time, and also the more you do it, the better you get at it. I think Ed Sheeran, I saw this really good interview of him where he said, like, the way he got better at songwriting was just to do it over and over and over and over. He used the dirty tap method. When you first turn on the tap, you got to let the dirty water run out, and then eventually it becomes clear and you get better at it. So
that's a good analogy.
That kind of like stuck with me. Is like, that is really, really good advice. That's sound advice.
It's like flushing a toilet.
Flushing the toilet. In America, we do the toilet flushing.
Okay, one more question. I'm going to direct it to the young lady to my right here, Lzzy. Even though Halestorm's a band, you get a lot of attention because you're of the fairer sex. Do you get inspired or intimidated by the fact that whether you like it or not, you are an aspirational person to a lot of young kids, especially females? Does that weigh heavy on you?
I get more inspired by it than intimidated, because I subscribe to if I am unapologetically myself, and not trying to be anything that I'm not, and not trying to be cool, and not trying to be a really good role model, I'm a better role model for these kids. And it's just such an honor, because I mean, I get letters every single day, like handwritten letters from teenagers that
still? Wow.
It's still, I know,
analog
it's still
letters. Wow.
Still analog letters, yes. And they'll draw me pictures with the Explorer and talk about how they started a band at school, and nowadays there's so many more outlets than we had. There's the School of Rock, and there's Girls Rock, and there's all of these ways that you can get into music. And so the fact that if I'm just a small part of a young lady going, well, that's possible. If she can do it, so can I. And even if that doesn't mean a rock star, maybe that means I want to be a doctor. Maybe it means I'm a girl and I want to be a mechanic. Even if it's that, I mean, that's just amazing to me. And just to be a part of somebody's life like that is truly an honor. So.
And you do it with 7-inch leather heels.
And yes, and
so Gene Simmons loves you too.
I kind of stole one of his boots, I think. So he might be a little jealous of my shoes.
And on that note, there you have it. Halestorm, thank you so much. And
thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Please keep doing what you're doing, because from what I saw on that stage just at Soundcheck, can't wait for tonight. But there was an electricity just between you guys, and you can't fake that.
Thank you.
And that's what counts, people. Don't fake it. Cheers.